Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Stephanie and together with my friend Danielle, we clean people's homes for free. In today's video, it is just myself cleaning as unfortunately Danielle wasn't feeling very well. As you can see, in today's home is not that dirty, it is just a collection of belongings and also there was a lot of dust. This is because the apartment above has had a flood and there was damage caused to this property, resulting in builders having to come in and do work, and also the resident has been living in a hotel away from home, and so there has been a build-up of dust. Also, before this happened, the resident was suffering from low mental health and wasn't really upkeeping with the property. From the belongings that I found, I do believe that possibly the resident has moved out of their family home and into this property and has never really fully unpacked since moving in, which I think is due not only to the low mental health, but also there isn't really places to put things. So in this video, I did struggle a little bit with where to put belongings. What you will find is that I tend to just remove the belongings from where they were, sort them into categories for the resident to go through and put them back in some semblance of order. There is some cleaning in the video, but not a huge amount. It is mainly just going through items, reorganizing and cleaning and then putting them back. We are still a fairly new channel, and so we're still finding our feet on how long we should post videos for, whether or not we should have a voiceover going all the way through the video, or leaving the original sound, or playing music. We would appreciate any feedback and letting us know what you prefer to watch, as we really would like to build our channel around our followers. And speaking of followers, if you are new here and you do like this kind of content, please do subscribe, like, share. Your support means the absolute world to us, and that is what will allow us to continue doing these free cleanings. Although I have left the original audio in this video, I'm just going to talk over this section because I am so self-conscious that you can really hear my breathing. So I apologise for those that really wanted to hear the scraping sounds. I'm hoping you can still hear them like underneath the voiceover. However, if you record videos, can somebody please let me know, how is it all these ASMR channels, the sound is really clear on like what they're doing, but not on their actual breathing? I don't know if maybe I just breathe really heavy or if it was a result of my allergies. I think possibly in this house there used to be a dog, based on some of the dog related items I found and the amount of hair that was in the carpet. Also, it is summer now and I have hay fever. Also, I apologise for the sound of cars going past. I did open all the windows in this property and we are next to a main road, so you do hear the traffic. This voiceover took me so long to do because when I am editing the footage, I also think about what I want to say during the voiceover. However, I immediately, like the second I press record on the voice, I immediately forget everything I wanted to say. And so I think in future I'm going to need to start writing down these thoughts. as well. I watch a lot of other cleaning content, especially on YouTube, and a lot of what the content creators say resonates with me, and then I feel like I want to also address the same issues. But again, as soon as I press record, it goes straight out of my mind and I just start waffling and talking a load of rubbish. But one thing I did want to address was, when I watch other people's cleaning channels, I really like to see it in like fast motion. So I actually change all my settings on YouTube to 2 times speed or 1.5 times speed. And so I just wanted to make people aware that that was an option if you do find that I talk too slowly, or you want to see the transformations happen quicker, you can speed up the video. Or if you want to slow it down, not so much to slow down my voice, but to slow down the actual cleaning if you would like to see it more in real time. Because when I do edit the videos, I do edit them to speed up. As well, if you think I am speeding things up too much, please do tell me in the comments, because as I say, I am so used to watching content sped up that I'm not sure what everyone else would like to see. So we definitely appreciate any and all feedback if you've gotten this far. When I first walked into this property and saw the amount of belongings, I was a little overwhelmed at first because I didn't know where to start. What I did was I just picked one area, and in this case it was the corner of the room where the TV unit was, and I started with that. However, I did not manage my time very well, I don't think, in this property. I spent quite a long time doing this, and then once I started on the rest of the room, again, it was a case of I didn't know where to put things or which areas to start with. And it wasn't till I'd been at the property for about 2 hours that I started to actually get into a rhythm of, okay, move this, clean there? Can I put this back here? Does it have somewhere else that makes sense to put it? Because of this, I didn't actually get done as much in the house as what I would have liked to have gotten done. And myself and Danielle do plan on returning to the house in the future to basically finish the job. However, you will still see some satisfying transformation photos at the end of this video, so please do stay around. One thing I will say is that all those belongings on those two chairs are actually items that the resident has already gone through and plans to donate, but she did ask that I could remove them from the chairs. Something that you guys might find quite funny here is that obviously this vacuum is not mine, and I could not for the life of me figure out the suction on it, so I really struggled to move the vacuum. However, literally the second I finished vacuuming this section of the carpet, I realised that there was a button that controlled the suction, and I was able to lower the suction for the next time I used the vacuum. What you will notice in this video is that the camera angle changes quite a lot. I was never quite sure where to put the camera, and sometimes I had the camera on selfie mode so that I could make sure it was recording. So here obviously the camera is behind the two chairs and I am just sorting the belongings. I did also move the furniture a lot in this property so that I could clean under the furniture. However, they were quite heavy and I didn't catch all of that on camera. When I was younger, I used to get very overwhelmed when it came to tidying my room because I would never know where to start. Because if the whole room is a mess, it is hard to know where to begin. So my technique at the time would be to put everything that didn't have a home already, so things that were all over the floor, all over the bed, whatever, into the very middle of the room, and then I would sort them into categories and then put them back where they belonged. And this is the kind of approach that I took in this property. Obviously, all those belongings that were on the chairs went into the middle of the room, and any other belongings that I found that I still had to go through or that the resident would have to go through, I put into the middle of the room. That then gave me the space to clean and tidy, and then I was able to sort the belongings out and put them back or put them in a space where the resident could go through them themselves. Just while I'm cleaning these skirting boards, I do want to point out that I am not a professional cleaner, and with what we are doing for these people, we are aiming for progress, not perfection. So I'm sorry that these are not like 100% immaculate. I am on a time crunch, and Honestly, I'm just actually not that great at cleaning, so I just did my best. Here's an example of me moving the furniture because I didn't think that the layout of the furniture was working very well in this space functionally and aesthetically. However, once I started moving the furniture, I realised two things. The first thing was that the furniture didn't work in any other way. Like, it was already set up the best way it could functionally, even though it wasn't ideal. But more importantly, the second thing I realised was that the resident probably wouldn't appreciate me deciding where the furniture would go, as they had already set it up in a way that worked for them. I'm not sure what happened to the audio in this section of the video, so that's why I'm just going to talk again. So this is where I have now finished cleaning the living room pretty much, and I am just placing everything back. I had moved the glass table into the far right corner, and in the transformation photos I have taken a photo of the area completely clean, and then for transparency's sake I have taken a photo of the bags that I place behind the two chairs. So the belongings that the resident is going to be donating, as well as a bag of belongings that I didn't know whether they were being kept, whether they needed sorted, or some items I just didn't actually know what they were. So they went into this orange bag here, and this was also left behind the chairs for the resident to sort out. In the beginning of this video, I showed you photos of what the property looked like before we started, and you're probably realizing that we are 23 minutes into this video and I'm still in one room, the living room. I do move into the bedroom. However, the reason that there is not a lot of footage of me doing the bedroom clean is for two reasons. The first reason is that I didn't actually complete the bedroom, which is one of the reasons myself and Danielle will be returning to the property. And the second reason is I am recording this on my phone, and unfortunately my battery died. So what happened was I put the phone on charge, but I didn't want to not clean just because I wasn't recording, so I carried on cleaning, and then once the battery had charged enough I then used it to take the after photos. So we do miss a section of the clean, however you do still get to see the transformation, and I think the bedroom is coming up after this section. I did not have permission from the resident to get rid of any belongings, and overall I probably only got rid of one bag of rubbish in this property. So the goal in this room is not to declutter, but more to collect like items together to allow the resident to go through them themselves. And so what I do is I bag up any clothing items that can be washed. I also unpack some boxes because items can be collected together to reduce the number of boxes. This gun was actually broken, so that did get binned. And I think I mentioned earlier that I think the resident had moved away from their family home into this property, and the reason for that is because of these children's toys that I found, like the gun and the football and the scooter and the skateboard, things like that. So what I'm doing is I just chose one corner of this room, which I think was the dustiest corner, and I organise the belongings. I then clean that corner, and then I kind of put the belongings back in more of an order, so stackable boxes. Also, because the resident had been living away from home, I was able to unpack their suitcase and their bag and just do a general tidy up. I also spent way too long trying to figure out how those blinds lifted up, and unfortunately could not figure it out. Then I opened the blinds to clean them, and this really is not an effective method. Since doing this, I've watched a video by Clutterbug, and she shows a more effective way of cleaning blinds where you don't actually open them. You put a hand behind the blind and you wipe them down facing you. I've also seen people vacuuming their blinds. However, in this instance, that would not have worked because there was a buildup of dust and grease. Here I just show you a quick glimpse of the windowsill. Because I couldn't keep the blind up, I couldn't record myself cleaning it. So there's a little after shot. Unfortunately, the footage is going to cut off very soon, but please stick around for the transformation photos. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video, supporting the channel, and if you haven't already, we would really appreciate if you could subscribe.